Okay, to begin this braid, what you want to do is section the hair straight down the middle, and then you're going to divide from that top part all the way to each ear. So it in essence creates 4 even quadrants on the head. And then what you want to do is secure that front left piece, this one, and the front or the back right, so kitty corner from each other, out of the way. So you have your diagonal pieces open on this side. I'm going to go to the front, I'm going to pick up a section of hair, and I'm going to begin a Dutch braid right here. And this is just going to be your normal Dutch braid, nothing fancy. Add in hair on both sides, and you're going to work mainly straight back and then slightly angled towards the center when you get back just a little farther. So right now we're working straight back, just adding in hair as we go. And then just ever so slightly, I'm gonna move the braid coming towards that middle cross section. Now when you run out of hair on this side, you can see everything I have left is part of this ponytail. I'm going to jump over and start picking hair up from this left quadrant that I have secured out of the way. So I'm just going to add a piece right in. And again, keep adding hair on both sides. And now I'm moving in a diagonal pattern. So I'm moving, you can see that the braid is actually crossing across her head towards my left. And now I'm gonna get about halfway down that section and I'm gonna start turning it to the right. So now every time I add in hair, I'm going to just gently pull to the right. That's because I now want the braid to twist inward. And then finish off with a regular braid. Secure it with an elastic, and you're going to repeat this process on the opposite sides. We're going to do the same thing when we get to right here again in the middle. We're just going to grab a piece of hair from this side and go ahead and start adding it in, and that's going to cross the braid over the top of the other side. Again, we're pulling the braid to the side, this time to the right, till we hit about that halfway mark on this section, and then we will switch. You'll see right here, I'll start tugging to the left instead of to the right. When you get to the end, I'm going to unhook, or take the elastic out of the left, and I like to put it right here, right at the nape of the neck, so that it really pulls those two pieces together tightly, like this. And then I'm gonna just add a few little curls into the bottom section of her hair, and then add a ribbon. Let's do the final spin. I love this hairstyle, but I think it's fun at Christmas time even because it sort of looks like a Christmas. Okay, to start this hairstyle, I've parted her hair just slightly off to one side right here. And then what I've done is create a circle all the way around her head, just like maybe 1 inch off her part line. And I pulled all of the rest of that hair up into a pretty high ponytail. Not quite on the top of her head, but it's higher than back of her head. Now I'm gonna take that hair and just flip it over and try to even it out so that there's a little bit of hair all the way around that elastic. I'm gonna come back to the front. I'm gonna just find that part line right here and separate that hair a little bit. And then I wanna pick up a little section of hair in the front. I'm gonna divide that into 2 pieces. Then I'm going to pick up one little piece of hair right here on this part line. And that becomes my 3rd section. So I now have 3 sections of hair, and I'm just going to do a Dutch braid all the way around to the back. And as I go along, I'm going to continue to add in hair, both on the top side from this ponytail and on the bottom side from the hair I've left in the front. And that's just gonna help add into the braid and add thickness. When I get to the back here, I'm just gonna braid this down a little ways, just a continued 3-strand braid, just to kind of hold the hair in place for a second. And you can secure this with an elastic or just have her hold the end like I'm going to, while you repeat the process on the other side. Now, one little trick I have done in the past that's optional for you is I don't want there to show a separation right here. So I'm gonna take this middle strand and I'm just gonna weave it through that first strand of the braid that we already created. And you'll see that that just kind of helps hold the hair a little bit together more. And then if there's still a little separation or pull between them, I can easily fix that just with a bobby pin or two. So at this point, it just becomes a regular Dutch braid again. When you get both sides of your braid done, then you want to bring these together and merge them. And you can merge them either into a regular 3-strand braid or a fishtail if you prefer. For me, I'm just going to do a regular 3-strand braid. I'm going to come up here and just hang on to 2 of those strands. Hang on to 2 over here and kind of merge that to be the 3rd and create a nice little braid right here. And however you want to finish this is just up to you. When you get to the end, secure it with an elastic. And then of course, you guys know that I love to fluff and tug my braids just so they're a little more puffy, full. So I just go back and pancake these edges, loosening the braid a little bit, add a little volume. And you end up with this nice starburst braid. Let's do the final spin on the starburst braid. Okay, to begin this hairstyle, you can see that I've done kind of a deep part. It's about maybe halfway, right where my halfway mark on my eyebrow is where I part it. You can go farther this way and then the braid will fall farther on your forehead. That's just not my preference, so this is where I start it. Then I'm gonna pick up a good sized piece of hair right here in the front and divide it into 3 sections. And we're going to begin the Dutch braid. Now we're going to be adding in pieces on both sides, so you can see I'm adding in some right there. And then I'm just going to reach back here, and I'm kind of maintaining this part line for now. I'm just going to grab a piece and add it in. And I'm pretty much working my way down my hairline, right here, trying to keep the braid just running right along my hairline. And I'm just trying to pick up the hair back here. The only trick is this back part. You just want it to fall smoothly into the braid. So every time I add it in, I kind of just smooth it out. And so far I'm not really reaching over here yet, but I'm about to start. So right here on this back piece, this is probably my last one that's just my front hair. Now you'll see that I'm going to start reaching around and grabbing the hair on the opposite side of my head. And again, I just want to make sure that it's sort of smoothed into the braid as we go along. And we want to, I left a couple little wispies, right here you can see, just out. But the rest of it you want to swoop to the side so you make sure that you're getting all of this hair back here. And you just grab a piece and keep adding in. You can see I'm doing pretty good sized sections when I'm grabbing my hair. I'm not being like stingy, and you can do smaller sections if you'd like to as well. Grab a little hair out here, add it in. I think I only have about one more add in. Yep. And then I finish it out with a regular braid. Now at the end I'm going to secure with an elastic, and I left a little bit of tail at the bottom right here. And now I'm going to go back. You can leave it like this and it looks fine. And this is how Prim wears it in the movie. It's very similar to this, tight. But I'm going to go back and really puff and pull. So I'm a grown-up, so I want it to look a little more older and mature, and the big giant puffy braids right now are really in. So I'm just going back, I'm really stretching each side of the braid. Just stretching, stretching, stretching all the way up. And this is what's gonna give you that really huge dynamic braid that you're seeing in pictures on Instagram and that kind of stuff that everyone's loving right now. So I'm just gonna keep working, go back and work some more, go all the way down the braid. If you have layers, this is where you might have some popping out. So I try to gently pull down at the bottom. And when you're done stretching the braid to your desired effect, you have this giant, fun, puffy braid that comes onto one side of your head. Great. So last week we showed you how to do it on somebody else. Today we're going to show you how to do it on your own hair. You can see that I have bangs. So I like to start my waterfall braids behind my bangs. So I'm just going to come back here and scoop up a little piece of hair, little section of hair that I'm going to use, put that in to start. Okay, now once you've got your little section to begin with, I'm going to divide that into 3 pieces and we're ready to begin our braid. Now a Dutch braid, you know the middle strand always goes over the outer sides. So we just went over, we're going to cross the middle one over again, and we've completed our first stitch. So now we're going to add hair in. We're going to pick up a piece of hair, put it into that top piece, and again you can see my middle pieces right here. We're going to cross the middle one over the top. Now this is where it gets a little bit different. We have our 3 sections, top, middle, bottom. We're going to take the middle and drop it. Just drop it through. Then I'm going to use my fingers to pick up another little section, and we're going to replace the one we just dropped. So it goes right back in the same spot. So we again have top, middle, bottom, and we're going to take that middle piece and cross it over the outside edge. And again, add hair in on this top piece. A little too much hair on that one. Cross it over. Okay, now here comes our funny stitch again. Drop the middle piece. And it doesn't matter how you hold your fingers or, you know, how you're holding your different strands. You can do anything that feels comfortable to you. Just make sure that you always replace the hair in the middle. So it's in the middle again. Now we're going to cross it over the outside edge. And again, add hair in on the top. Drop the middle piece. Pick up hair. Add it right back into the middle. So just remember, you're always putting it right back where the other hair was. Cross it over the outside, pick up hair, cross it over. Again, we're going to drop the middle piece, go in, pick up some more hair, and add it right back into the middle. Cross it over, keep that one out of the way. Pick up hair. Okay, and you're just going to keep doing that all the way around your head. Make sure I get my pieces here. Cross it over. Now I'm going to start pulling the braid down a little bit because I want it to slant just a little bit towards my ear. So you'll see I'm starting to work on that a little. We're going to pick up hair and add it back in the middle. Cross it over. Cross it over, drop that middle strand, pick up hair, go like this. Okay, now right here, I'm going to take this piece of hair and I'm going to just twist it up and out of the way. I'm going to secure it with a clip. See how talented I am using my elbow here? Just for a second, and you'll see why. I'm going to pick up some more hair and add it in, cross over, drop that middle strand, reach all the way back here behind my ear and pick up one last piece and add it into the middle. And then what I'm going to do is just do a couple little normal braids right here once I've run out of hair. That gives us just a little bit of hair to work with at the end. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 2 bobby pins. I'll turn back around so you can see. Okay, I picked up a bobby pin. I'm going to take the bobby pin and put it right here, right behind my ear. I'm going to cross it upward, pick up another bobby pin. I'm going to go on the other side of the braid and cross it upward. So I've essentially crossed the bobby pins right behind my ear. This is going to hold the braid nice and secure and flat against my head. You can see that my hair just releases. Now this is why I clipped this up. I'm going to release this hair and let it fall down. And we're going to use that to hide those bobby pins behind my ears. It's pretty tricky, huh? So then what we're going to do is just tweak. So I'm going to just fluff a little right here and right there. And you are good to go. Okay, we'll show you the finished product. And there you have the beautiful Dutch waterfall braid, and it's all done by. So I'm gonna start by picking up the front section of her hair, and I'm just gonna section it into 3 pieces, just like a normal braid. Now remember, with the Dutch braid, that middle strand always crosses over the outside strands. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 1 complete stitch, which means it goes over both outside edges. Now, when you get to this point, so you have your 3 pieces, you have your top, your middle, and your bottom, you're gonna drop that middle one. Hold this pleasey, and I'm gonna pick up another piece just right behind where I dropped that strand. And this is gonna become your middle strand again, okay? Don't confuse it and put it on the outside. Make sure it's your middle strand. And then you're gonna go ahead and cross it over the top, and then again, we're gonna pick up hair and add it in, and cross it over the top. And that's another complete stitch. So we've done a full stitch. You can see that that little piece of hair right there pops out, and we've completed that little tiny section. So again, let's do it again. We have our 3 pieces, top, middle, bottom. We're gonna go ahead and take the middle, we're gonna drop it through. I'm gonna pick up some hair right there behind it. That becomes the middle strand. So you can see again, I've placed it in the middle, and now I'm gonna cross that middle strand over the bottom strand. Then I'm gonna add in hair into the top piece, and again cross the middle strand over the top strand. And that again is a complete stitch. Can you see that secondary stitch right there? So I'm gonna go ahead and just continue to do this. Drop the hair, pick up piece, add it in, cross it over, add in hair again, cross it over, and just continue to do this. Drop that strand, pick up hair. Just the only trick is making sure that when you pick up that piece of hair, it goes into the middle so that it crosses over and gives you that nice piece laying over the top. We're gonna add in hair, cross it over, and we have another stitch. We're gonna drop that strand, pick up hair, cross it over, and we're just gonna continue. Turn her so you guys can see a little bit better. I'm gonna just continue to do this. Drop that strand, pick up a section, cross it over the top, pick up hair on top, cross it over, another complete stitch. Drop the strand, pick up hair, add it to the middle, cross it over, add hair to the top, and you can go around as far as you want. And go just a little bit further, pick up hair, add it to the middle, cross it over the top, add hair. And I actually think I might do one more. Okay, so drop that strand. I'll show you in another video how to do this on yourself, because it can be done on yourself. It's just a little bit different because you have to, use your own hands. I'm gonna turn her so you can see. Maybe one more. Hold that for me. Thank you. Pick up another piece, add it to the middle, cross it over the top, add hair. And now I'm gonna go ahead and complete the braid. And right here, I'm just gonna go into a regular braid. To finish it off, you can release the strands. And you can see the water falling effect. Go ahead, braid it down as far as you'd like. And we'll add an elastic that matches her hair so you can't see it a ton. And then just for a little added pizzazz on her, I'm gonna try adding right here where we switch from a waterfall to regular braid. I think it would be kind of cute to just add a bow. You can leave it plain if you like. You can add a bow if you like. Doesn't matter. You can add the bow down here if you'd rather. Just something to add a little more pop. And look at how beautiful that waterfall braid is. The thing I love about it is that the braid just pops out so pretty. You can see all the way around. And from the front, because we did a deep side part, it almost matches on either side, which makes it look beautiful from the front too. Some exciting news. About a month ago, we did a little shout out on one of our videos for a Facebook page called Intermountain Moms. And they contacted me recently and as a thank you, wanted to do a giveaway for our fans. So I recommended that they give away 5 $100 gift cards to Sephora. Since it's nearly Christmas time, everyone can use a little extra cash, especially at Sephora where you can pick up nail polish and makeup and hair tools and hair product. I love that store. Now to begin, I've already parted her hair just right down the center of her head, and I've gone ahead and done the left side braid, and I'm gonna show you now how to do it on the right side. So we're gonna pick up a section of hair right here, and I wanna make sure and leave a little bit right here by her face so it looks really soft and pretty. And we're going to begin a 3-strand Dutch braid. And we're gonna do a lace version. So you'll see I'm adding hair in on the top strand only. So right here I'm gonna pick up hair and add it in. And then I add no hair to the bottom. I'm gonna add hair again on the top strand and none on the bottom. And again, add hair onto the top strand and none on the bottom. And you can see that I'm kind of going in a downward angle, and I'm just gonna make sure I'm matching this other side. I'm gonna take one more little piece of hair and put it in. And then I'm just gonna finish it off with a regular braid. Now when you get this all the way braided, before I put the elastic in, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna pancake these edges. So I'm just gonna tug on those outside edges, and it's just gonna give them a little more fullness and a little bit softer look and make it look really pretty. I'm gonna do it on both the top and the bottom. One more. There, you can see how much more full that braid looks. I love that look. And then I'm gonna go ahead and secure the ends with an elastic. Now, you have 2 ways to finish this off. You can use bobby pins, if you'd like to, and you can bobby pin it right here, crossing the bobby pins. So it'd be like right here at the ends, and then laying the hair over the top. But a really easy way to do this is to pick up, I'll show you, just go ahead and pick up this whole back piece of her hair, like the top, maybe third. Make sure I get it all the way under the sides, and just flip it out of the way for a minute. And then I'm gonna take, Charity, do you mind holding this? If I had a clip, I'd have it clipped up. Just take the braids and secure them together right here at the back of her head. And this won't be seen, so it doesn't matter if it's not pretty. This is just a nice way, now let the hair fall over the top, to keep that hidden and out of the way, and that's gonna allow us to add volume right here in her crown and keep that hair flowing nicely over the top of the braid without bobby pins sticking and jutting up out of our way. Okay, and then we're finished. Let's do the official spin so you can see the entire hairstyle. I think it looks so cute.
Let's get going. Brian's hair is super baby fine and normally and really slick. So for this braid, you can either do it wet, which would hold really tight for a sport to be active, or I have chosen to texturize it. And the reason we texturize it, one, it gives it more volume, but it also gives it more grip. So when I'm braiding, it won't slide out of the braid. And you can texturize, this one is just like a mini crimper, micro crimper, but you could also put their hair in really tight braids and then take them out and you would have a lot of texture. You could do curls, which would add a lot of texture, or dry shampoo, or there's even texture powder. Okay, so let's get going on the braid. So I'm just going to start with just a top section, do 3 fingers into it just to split it into 4 sections. And then I'm going to start on the furthest left, go under 2, 1, 2, and then back over this one. So now I see 4. Now we're going to do it with the right. Since the middle 2 are crossed, it's easy to go under 2 and then back over 1. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now at this point I lay them in between my fingers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we add a piece to the left side. And this is Dutch, so we're going to go under 2, over 1. And then we're going to add hair to this side. Sorry, I'm just trying to straighten her out a little bit so we don't have a crooked braid. And we're going to go under 2, over 1. And then lay them in between my fingers. Add hair to this left one. Under 2, over 1. Then we're going to add hair to the right one. It's easier if you grab under with this opposite hand. So I've got them laid between my fingers again. Add hair to the left one. I pull it with my pinky under 2, over 1. Then the right side. Okay, I'm going to grab these with this hand because I want to pull under with this hand. So we were adding hair to this strand, under 2, over 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull with pinky, under 2, over 1. Okay, so now we've added all the hair, so we're just going to do the same thing. And so under 2, over 1, under 2, over 1. Okay, so when I get down to the bottom, you can just put an elastic in at this point, or you can pancake a little bit. I'm just going to stick a bobby pin just to hold this while I pancake it. So I'm just going to gently slide. I like to do the opposite sides. Since it's 3D, there's 4 pieces. So I like to start just pulling those. And then do the other side. Okay, now I'm just going to put an elastic in. Okay, so you can see that I accidentally pulled that part out. So easy to fix. Take a bobby pin and poke it in. Voila! So you can just pancake it as much as you want or leave it as tight as you want. It's up to your personal preference. Okay, let's do a final spin. This is the Dutch 3D braid.
I have started by parting her hair. I'll turn her around so you can see. I'm going to part it on the left, even a little more than it is right now. Make a part. And then kind of comb the hair so it's pretty flat. I'll turn her around in just a sec so you can see her. Now her hair has just a few little waves in it from whatever she had in her hair this morning. and that's fine. I'm just spritzing just the tiniest bit of water. Now I'm gonna start it as though I'm gonna do a Dutch French braid. So I'm gonna pick up a little section right here in front and break it up into 3 pieces and start a Dutch braid. And I'm not really gonna part specifically the hair, I'm just gonna kind of add in. You can see like I don't have a really hard part right in here. I'm just mostly doing it by look and feel instead. And I'm gonna keep braiding until I get to about, I would say, even with the corner of her eyebrow. So I'll probably do one more little piece. And then what I'm gonna do is start turning the braid. So now when I pick it up, I'm gonna just pull just slightly towards the back of her head. You can see that I'm kind of moving physically. I'll turn her. I'm still adding hair from both sides. It's still a Dutch braid. Nothing else has changed other than the direction the braid is now running. And when I get to, I'm gonna do one more. I'll show you there's a method to all this madness. So I'm gonna do one more on top, and then what I'm gonna do is pick up one more. So can you see where I am about on her ear? I'm gonna do that one piece right there. And then I'm gonna go aim straight across her head. So I'm gonna kind of go straight across the back of her head. The reason we picked up this is because I'm gonna have the bun sit like right here where this little pocket is, and I want the hair to look really side swept up and pretty, and then the bun, okay? So now, instead of picking up too much hair here, I'm just gonna really grab teeny tiny little pieces, and I'm gonna be pulling from mostly the top of her head. So here, I'll show you, I'm literally just gonna pick up this tiny little piece right there, right under the braid. And then I'm gonna have to start scooping the hair from all the way on the front of her face into the braid. In the meantime, still aim straight back. Straight to the side, I guess it is technically. Let me see. Can you see where I'm now grabbing the hair from? Again, one more little piece here. And we are going to pick up almost the rest of her front hairs right there. Okay, one more. And then we're going to start going down. So you can see, I'm going to show you where I'm at now. I have all the hairs here pulled in, and I'm going to start taking the ones right above her ears. And I'm going to start pulling the braid back down again towards her neck as I'm doing this. So this is giving the braid that nice S shape we want. And now, this is why we left this hair here. I'm going to start pulling it down into the braid. So that we have that pretty S everyone wants. Okay, we're almost there. Couple more. And last piece. Okay, so now we've got the basics of the braid in place. We've got the nice S. Now we want to do the flower portion. How we're going to do that, I'm going to wet it down a little. We're going to create just a regular braid. Okay, we're going to go down maybe 2, I call this a section and this a section. And we're only going to pull hair out from one side, and I'm going to do this underside because I'm going to wrap my flower up like that. So we're going to go back and we're going to literally just barely pull that edge piece out, way out, so it makes a big bubble. Like that. Okay? Then you're gonna have to braid down a couple more sections. You can only do this a section or two at a time because otherwise your hair gets too far down and then it won't loosen. Can you see how we've got those big bumps? And at some point, your ends are gonna start popping out like hers are right there. That's okay, don't worry about it. So braid down a little bit more. Just barely pull that edge hair. That's all we want pulled out. Not the whole thing, just that little tiny piece. Braid down. If you need to add a little more water, go ahead and do that. Just to give you a little bit more grip. Pull a little bit. And you're just gonna have to kind of keep doing this until your ends start popping out too much or you run out of hair, whichever comes first. Okay, so we're about there. I'm gonna secure with a with a rubber band. And I'm actually gonna, her ends are pretty long, so I'm actually gonna fold them in half. And just that will just help me to hide it. Okay, so we have this kind of wacky looking half pancake braid going on. You're gonna take it up, flip it around, flip it, and just roll it in. I'll do it one more time so you can see it again. Okay? Take it, wrap it up where you kind of want imagine where you want your flower to sit, and then just twist those ends into the center like that. And you can see that when we get those ends all pinned down and tucked, it's gonna leave us our flower. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in here and just secure the bun. Oh, I can see that one. There we go. So secure where you need. You can use bobby pins or those hair pins if you bought them for when we did the bow braid. Hairpins would work great here too. Tuck that end in. And then you can go back and just tug those little pieces up a little bit more. And that's what gives you the nice flower shape. One more. And helps it to pop out and add dimension. Okay. Okay, when you have your flower completely secured, then you're going to just take a little clippy of your choosing. This one's just one that kind of has a little spiral back on it, so you can just twist it in. And I'm just going to twist that down into the little center of her flower. And that just adds just a little bit of pop into the middle of the flower as well. And your flower bun is done. And this is the great flower braid. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm sure you're gonna get lots of comments on this. I love this flower.